guys, Ash here, Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Glad to have you all here with me today. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them out there today. Guys, Live Arena. Do you play Live Arena? You should.
In my life, I could do what I want.
Kind of like Arena. You know, I know some players really hate this, especially if you don't love PvP, right? But just like Arena being attached to the Affinity bonus, Great Hall, the area bonuses are super, super important, right? How are you making out on your area bonuses? This is what I have. I have a little bit of Fire Knight because right when area bonuses came out, I was actually trying to optimize my Fire Knight 10 hard team, but I kind of regret putting that much into Fire Knight because now it's not as important to me, not nearly as important as Hydra Clan Boss. So that's where a lot of my energy is going, as well as some speed in Cursed City, as you guys can see. What about you guys? Where have you allocated most of your area bonuses inside your advanced Great Hall or whatever you want to call it? So that's what I'm doing. I play a lot of Live Arena. I enjoy Live Arena, but I'm going to be real with you guys. Even though I enjoy it, I do find it fairly stale. Like it's very redundant. There's no seasons. There's no resets. It feels very lacking to me, honestly. It's weird because I enjoyed it for a while, but now it's just like, gosh, man, I mean, it's going to take up 2 hours of my time, and
the hardest choices require the strongest wills.
I don't know. I try to treat Live Arena as like 5-game sets, right? I try to win at least 3 out of 2, and that's one obviously refill, but it's lacking. The good news is it's easy to improve Live Arena, right? I mean, just off the top of my head, again, seasons is great. They have this area battle rules, right? Every champion picked for battle must be unique. That's the battle rule. They could add like every champion must be epics. Every champion must be Force Affinity only and have different leagues, not getting rid of the main ladder for Arena, for Live Arena, but different leagues each season. That would be so much fun to me, and it would definitely rejuvenate me. And it would also allow a lot more players who don't have every mythical in the damn game, Fully Awakened +4, to actually compete on the top of some of these leaderboards, right? With epic empowerment and stuff. What about you guys? Anyway, today I want to share the top 20 pick percentages. Win percentages mean nothing if you look at the stats in Live Arena, because like Sify, for example, has like a 35% win rate because she's banned a lot, right? So it's hard to look into the win rate too much without really factoring in the ban rate, but it is nice to look at the pick rate just to see the popularity of champions in the meta. That being said, a quick disclaimer, obviously some of the mythicals that are very good are going to be a little bit lower than you might expect. They're all going to be the usual suspects on the list because they're harder to get. Moreover, some of the new champions, mythical and non-mythical, but you know, for example, Dark Smile here, this guy's really freaking cool. I think he's going to be amazing in the arena. 5 out of 5, right? He's got bombs on Stone Skin, instantly detonate and then stuns them afterwards. Are you kidding me? Really cool anti-Stone Skin champion. He's at like a less than 1% use rate right now because not many people have him. So, okay, those are all that's 3 minutes of me rambling to you guys. Let's get to the list here.
That would be incredible. Thank you so much.
No huge surprises, I don't think, on this list. I don't know, you guys be the judge. Number 20 on the list is going to be Shuzen the Valorous. Why is Shuzen the Valorous even on the list? Mainly because of, well, sure, she has the speed and arena battles as an aura lead at 30%. She's got a really nice opening move on the A3, but, or maybe a second move, the most popular move for her is to build her super, super, super fast and then hand the baton with an instant turn ability onto another ally who's built a little bit slower. It could be your control champion, it could be your block revive nuker, it could be a number of different things. She's an immediate threat that has to be dealt with. She gets banned a lot for that reason too. This Purging Petals ability is insane. Increase attack, increase crit rate, and increase damage, crit damage, and then gives them a turn. What a setup for your nuker, right? So you can pair her with like an Anithwi if you want to block revive, or as I said, any control champion, or any nuker for that matter. And then she has that great A3 as well. All right, number 19 on the list is gonna be the guy. This guy is skyrocketing. The next time we do a video like this, hopefully some of you guys like it. If we do an update in 6 months or so, Yumeko, Marius is going to be a lot higher because he went from, again, 1%, 2%, 8%, 10%. Right now he's sitting at 11% pick rate. 11% of matches in Gold 4, by the way, I should mention, we're going to go on the highest league, are picking Marius because Marius is not only a tanky defense-based damage dealer, but also a triple hitter that smacks. And then the extra turn, the self-buffing, increased accuracy, increased defense, and then the strong AoE with Enfeeble on the A1, but he's the perfect response to mythical champions, and mythical champions are absolutely everywhere, especially the higher that you get in the arena. Whenever an enemy changes forms or attempts to decrease his champion's turn meter, counterattacks using the Enfeeble AoE on the A1. He's at 11%. At 13% is going to be Mr. Warlord. Warlord, the OG of lockouts, right? Orcish Rituals is still a money ability. Even with mythicals that change forms, it's still super nice because you're at least depleting or having a good shot at depleting their turn meter, and he's got a nice support on his A2 ability. He's at 13%. At number 16 on the list is going to be Yumeko. Back-to-back lockouts here. Yumeko's at 15%, coming in at number 16 on the list. Dance of Time, not only can you lock out, but you can also reset the cooldown of your own skills. You guys are familiar with Meko. Incredibly good champion, very versatile, can use her almost anywhere in the game. Hey, this is lockout theme right now, guys. Coming in at number 15, tied with Yumeko at 15%, we have arguably the best attack-based nuker in the game. It's Siegfried the Nephilim. Oh boy, they buffed the hell out of this dude.
We just become best friends. Yep.
This is Rage of Nephilim, is one of the most dangerous abilities in the game. Obviously can be mitigated by like a UDK or whatever, but still, he smacks with his AoE on his A2. And the thing about Siegfried is, sure, his alternate form is essentially a secret skill, but he has that built-in block damage survivability when he's going to get a fatal hit. And then he can come in, and if he's not the last, or if he is the last one killed or last one alive on the team, which is fairly easy to do because of his block damage, he comes in with the revive and the 2-turn block damage. Man, this guy is good. The best nuker and a kind of an emergency reviver with self-sustain built in. He's just next level. Certainly one of my most used, number one in terms of attack-based nukers in the game in PvP, and honestly in PvE. This guy wrecks. Just A2 after A2 after A2 on the base form. All right, number 14 on the list. Number 14 is going to be another lockout. We're getting to all the lockouts here. It is Night Queen Crixia. Night Queen Crixia. She does it all, guys. She does it all. She lockouts, she removes buffs. She's got to be careful. Polymorph, of course. On her alternate form, of course, she's cleansing and resetting the cooldown of all of our skills. She also comes in with a nice turn meter fill, as well as a block debuffs and an increased resistance. So most of the time, I'll open up with the A3 on the base form, and then I'll go to the second form, and provided I haven't been locked out or anything like that, she's nice because if a Warlord or a Yumeko or another Crixia locks you out, you can come in there and just reset the cooldowns again on her alternate form, right? But usually I'll just open up with the A2, get the random Rain of Damnation, the block debuffs, the turn meter fill, and then come down in Night Purge after that. So she comes in at number 14. Number 13 on the list, guys, is gonna be, with 15% pick rate, Marichka. She might be a little bit lower than some of you guys thought, but she's still one of the best out there. Man, I try to run her as fast as I can in a 2-turn Stone Skin, and I love my Marichka. She's on one of my main Siege teams, and she's still got it. She's really good, obviously, with Taurus, mainly paired with Taurus, but she's still good even without Taurus. Not only that great heal, the strengthen that's protected, the cleanse, the additional turn if there's more 5 or more debuffs removed, but then that great passive anytime someone's gonna run a bomb champion, or for that matter, a poison or HP burner, I'm going to be picking Marichka every time. She's basically an auto ban. So if they ever go with, a Gizmak or a Mithrala or any bomb champion, I'm on Nishak or something like that, Gaius, I'm always going to go Marichka. Very good. Obviously, she's exceptionally good with Taurus on the team as well. He'll join in on her A1s, and he will auto with his A2 every time she's attacked. Coming in at number 13 on the list, I think, is going to be Lazarius. Lazarius also at 15% pick rate. This guy is a beast. He really is super cool because he's very, very versatile. People know him for being a very, very fast nuker with a speed aura, but sometimes I have him in a two-piece stone skin. Sometimes I'll always play it by ear, right? I run him on the same team as Siegfried sometimes, or any attack-based nuker for that matter. So I'll use him as a setup, increase attack, or a strengthen if I don't have like a Mikage on the team, or sometimes even if I do. He has a pretty good A2 ability as well. He's placing block debuffs on all allies, decreasing the duration of all buffs on all enemies by 2 turns, which is polymorph proof, obviously. But then he does come in and place a block buffs, which isn't polymorph proof. So he has a very, very nice base form, but I really love him as a backup reviver or a secondary reviver if they ban my reviver because of his passive. At the end of this champion's turn, revives a random ally with 50% HP and a 50% turn meter, a perfect veil on the revived ally for 2 turns. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. And then on his alternate form, of course, he is doing a lot of damage. Not the strongest attack-based nuker, but very strong nonetheless. And if he kills anybody, either with his AoE or a single target hitter, it is increasing the cooldown of all enemy skills by 2 turns whenever he kills an enemy. 2 of the most strong passives on his base and his alternate inside the game, on top of a lot of damage from Lazarius. All right, coming in at number 12 on the list is going to be Star Sage. Arguably one of the most wanted mythicals in the game and one of the best overall champions in the game, Star Sage Galathir. I pulled him from a Remnant summon, guys. I was so incredibly lucky. My one and only mythical that I pulled from a Remnant.
Yes, I've heard this story before.
Star Sage does it all. It's kind of shocking that he's here at 16% use rate at number 12, considering how good he is. But again, that also speaks to how difficult it is to get mythical champions inside the game. He has a cleanse, he has a heal, he has block debuffs, he has a revive, he has perfect veil, he has survivability on this passive, and then on his alternate form, he's removing buffs, he's placing a block active skills to mitigate change forms on mythical champions. He also has an increased accuracy on everybody, a decreased resistance, and a stun, all on a 3-turn cooldown. So one of the best lockout, CC, stun champions with one of the best revivers on his base form with the cleanse and the block debuffs. Exceptionally good champion for obvious reasons. Number 11 on the list is an oldie but a goodie. I was actually surprised she was still this high at a 16% pick rate. It's Duchess. Duchess, man, she's still good. She's still great. Got that great ethereal waves mitigating AoE damage. She got the speed. You can use her as your aura lead. She has the double veil, the veil on the revive and the perfect veil, as well as a great attack-based nuker setup with the increased attack and block debuffs on that A2 ability. She's really tanky as well. And yeah, she's Duchess. You guys know Duchess.
That is brand new information.
She's at number 11. At number 10 on the list is going to be a freebie. Yeah, a freebie. It is UDK at 16% pick rate. Ultimate Death Knight, man. For obvious reasons. He's a great counter, as we mentioned, to Rhodos. He's a great counter to Siegfried, who are 2 of the most popular nukers out there. Obviously, both Magic Affinity champions. And he's just a great tank, generally speaking, as well. He brings continuous heals and shield. But, of course, the ability that he's most known for is the not that didn't need him, the too awesome to die ability where he's soaking up those single target attacks. So UDK, no surprise, is at number 10 on the list. Number 9 on the list is going to be Lady Mikage. Lady Mikage, one of the best overall champions inside the entire game. One of the fastest champions in the game, insanely good base stats. She has the ally attack, the best ally attack in the game, bar none, with increased attack and increased crit damage and all allies joining up. She also has the Silken Snare, which is fantastic. It's polymorph proof, decreased duration of buffs on the enemy team. And if you're locked out, if she's locked out, you can go into the second form, or I should say, if she's, you run into a Yumeko or Warlord or a Crixia, and then you can just remove buffs, place a weaken on enemies, or just stun them and reduce their turn meter. She really does bring so much to the table. She's very versatile. You can use her base form. You can use her mainly alternate form, just depending on what you need. And that is where she really excels, being the best at a bunch of different things all in one kit. So she was at 20% use rate here, guys. Coming in at number 8 on the list is going to be another kind of freebie. It is Monkey King himself, Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong at 21% pick rate, 21% pick rate on Sun Wukong. He's got the speed in arena battles. He's got the Staff of Wonder that just smacks potentially 100% ignore defense with Helm Smasher and your lethal or savage or merciless gear. He also has the AoE, the best buff steal in the game ability with block buffs. But of course, the unbeatable Wukong is what really keeps this guy as one of the most popular arena champions in the game. He just keeps coming back to life and back to life and back to life every 3 turns.
I am not human. I can't die.
A lot of damage, a lot of control, and a great aura. It's no surprise that he comes in at number 8 at 21%. At number 7 at 22%, it is Rotos. Yeah, Rotos is still one of the best, if not the best, I would say the best, single target damage dealer, single target nuker inside the entire game for PvP. I mean, what do you want from this dude? He ignores block damage and unkillable, which is extremely important. There's a lot of block damage champions, especially in the meta right now, like Alaz, obviously Siegfried. So it comes in super, super handy there. A little bit of Helicath as well. But just taking so many additional turns back to back to back to back, he's just so good. He can wipe out for a single target damage dealer with the extra turn mechanics and his damage. He can just do some amazing things like wipe out entire teams without them even getting to take a turn. It's happened to me. Has it happened to you guys? I hate when that happens when he's on the other team. I'm always healthily frightened of Rotos, the Lost Groom. Coming in at number 6 on the list with a 23% pick rate, it is White Queen. That's right, and Korra. A bit higher than I expected. I mean, I know she's super popular. I know she's really good, but I didn't expect her to be at number 6 overall in terms of the pick rate. However, she was an accessible champion with the Fragment Summer of the Fusion, so I guess that probably explains a little bit of it. Either way, she's insanely good. She has the speed aura. She has the great revive that decreases the turn meter vault enemies by 10% and resets the cooldown of the revived allies' skills. Really good, the second champion after Godseeker and Neri to have a revive like that, and it's on a 3-turn cooldown. She has a great cleanse with a great shield on her A2 and a turn meter fill. She'll bring a strength into the table. She gets a lot better with White King, Narcissus on the same team as well, and then she has a pretty good A1. So man, I mean, she does bring a lot. She's stealing CC debuffs from your allies, filling her own turn meter. She has a great kind of mini CC cleanse on the passive, plus a traditional cleanse on the A2. Man, she's really, really good at 23% pick rate. At number 5 at a 24% pick rate. Number 5, it is Taurus. Taurus the Fierce. Yeah, man, he's a tanky, exceptionally good nuker. Obviously, even better with Marichka on the same team, with these annoying stuns that come every time she's attacked, as we mentioned earlier. He's just tough to kill, and he smacks. You stack some buffs on him with the constant pressure. He's going to wipe out the enemy team. Still one of the best, probably the 3rd best nuker in the game in terms of pick rates, at least, right? Very, very, very good in Taurus. Coming in at number 4 on the list. I said 3rd best nuker. What's the 2 that you think are higher than him, guys? 25% pick rate, guys. It is the King. Now, he wasn't for free, but was he on a guaranteed event or something like that? Yeah, White King Narcissus is number 4 overall. I was surprised that he's higher than Taurus now, honestly, especially considering he was out a lot less time, even though, again, he was part of that event. But man, this guy, you don't want a bolster set or a shield if you're going against White King Narcissus. He absolutely, this Desecration Blast, this A2 ability, right? Not only does he have a block revive potential if they're under 3 or more buffs on the A3, very handy for a hard-hitting ability. Hate when that gets pulled off against my team. But this Desecration Blast, to me, it's almost like a ticking time bomb, right? Where we're just like, okay, he can't go. He can't get a turn. He can't get a turn because if he does, and my team's under a shield or strengthen, it's sayonara, game over. I'm throwing in the towel. Just one of the hardest hitting abilities in the game here on the A2. Just like the Queen and Korra, he does get quite a bit better if you have them both together. All right, number 3 and the number 1 picked nuker in the entire entire arena at 27% pick rate, and one of my most used nukers as well. It is Harima. Harima comes in at a, like I said, 27% pick rate. Wow. And for good reason, right? Not only does she have a hard-hitting purgative punishment on her A2 that if you kill somebody, which is not that difficult to do, you get the AoE with Celestial Awe, her A3, which provokes the enemy team if it doesn't kill them. Very good nuker, but her claim to fame is Demon Slayer. It's such a unique passive, and it's so good at mitigating a guy like White King Narcissus, for example, right? Or a champion like Georgid, who didn't make the list, but he's hovering around a 5% or so use case. Leo, Georgid, those champions are all around 5% pick rate right now. Anyway, enemy ignore defense effects are decreased by 50%. This is so insanely valuable. It's just one of the best ways to protect your team and to get, well, more survivability out of your squad, right? So a lot of damage, the provoke, the instant activation, and just one of the most nasty PvP passives inside the entire game, if not the best. All right, number 2, with a 40% pick rate, it is Siphi, the Lost Bride. To the surprise of nobody, really one of the best revivers out there. She's going to set up your Harimas, your defense-based damage dealers with an increased defense. You're going to get the block buffs. You're going to get the increased speed, and you're going to get that 10% turn meter fill on her first move. I run her in protection set. She's just so nasty. She's so fast, 114 base speed. A lot of people build their Siphis super fast. I see some in Stone Skin. I see some in protection. Probably the more popular 2 builds for her out there. Love Beyond Death is a great full turn meter revival as well. And heck, she's a companion champion, obviously, to the best and most picked single target damage dealer out there in Rotos, who we just discussed. All right, number 1 by a mile. It's not going to shock any of you guys. It is Armanz at a 49. Let's just round it up. 50% pick rate. He is picked in half of games, and to me that seems so off. That seems so off because I think he's picked in every single Gold 4 live. Maybe it's just, you know what it must be? About a 49% pick rate, and he's picked every single time. It must just mean that per player pick rate, do you think? Because have you guys, anybody out there in, I don't know, Gold 3, Gold 4? I don't think I've ever had a match that nobody picked Armanz. He's picked every match. So with that being said, I'm going to consider that these are individual pick rates, not as he used inside the totality of a match, if that makes sense to you guys. Either way, he is by far, by a mile, the most popular pick in live arena, the most popular champion in regular arena as well. He's still just absolutely broken. The AoE stun, the turn meter steal, and the sheep, and the removal of all buffs, and the decreased cooldown of a random active skill. It's insane. He's insane. He really is. Super fast, speed in arena battles. You guys are familiar with Armanz, but there it is. That's the list, guys. Let me go through the entire thing here for those of you who stood around till the end. Anybody surprised you not being on the list? Would love to hear that too. Armanz, Siphi, Harima, White King, Taurus, White Queen, Rotos, Sun Wukong, Lady Mikage, UDK, Duchess, Star Sage, Lazarius, Marichka, Siegfried, Crixia, Siegfried, Yameko Warlord, Marius, Shuzen. There it is, guys. That is the live arena meta, which is pretty much mirroring the arena meta, PvP meta at large. Thank you for watching all the way till the end of the video. Hopefully you found it interesting. Thank you, and as always, take care, guys.